Hashem's name will be blessed forever and ever. Shalom, everybody. B'ezrat Hashem. Today we are going to have class number 5. We'll discuss more in depth about the Seder night. Seder means order. Things has to go in order, and in order for us not to do mistakes, we have to study the halachot and memorizing it. Not every Haggadah has enough comment. So people sometimes making all these efforts a month before, weeks before, for preparation for this special holiday. It's a holiday of redemption. It's a holiday that everybody can have their own self-redemption. It's time that a very great energy, karma you want to call it, a special power comes from heaven and will touch those who make efforts to follow the halacha, and those who make efforts to make the seder properly. Please note there is schedule. You cannot start things before time comes. You can delay things. For example, afikoman. People told me yesterday that they're probably going to start Seder night around 7 o'clock. You can start before 8:43. 8:43 you can start Kiddush. And these people come from Reform and they now become little by little Orthodox. And they really don't know. But the kids are going to go to sleep, so they're doing it for the kids. For the sake of the kids, they're not going to fulfill the mitzvah. It's going to be a big problem. So I told them, you know what, start the story, start some plays, singing, whatever you can do before, it's fine. But Kiddush should not start this year, 2022, before 8:43. We want to make sure that it's completely night. We can say Kiddush on time, and Namotzi, and Hallel, and so forth and so on. It's a great time. We should take advantage of it. And this is why we are gathered here today, in order to follow the order of the Haggadah. You know, the Haggadah start with, what is the first part? Oh, Ron is in the house. So it starts with Kiddush, Kadesh. Kadesh urchatz karapas yachas magid rachza motzi matza maror korech shulchan orech tzafun barech halel nirtza. This is the order. Every Haggadah, good Haggadah, recommended Haggadah, has this order. The first part would be Kiddush. Don't forget, it's your first cup. You have to drink in Haseva, leaning on your left side. Remember, there's at least, how many times we must lean on the left side, Haseba, during Passover?
Each time.
How many times?
7 times.
7 times. You're right, 4 for the 4 cups, plus the 3 hamotzi. Not 3 hamotzi, 3 matzah. 3 times for the matzah, okay? The first one when you do hamotzi matzah, the second time with the matzah is when we do the korech, when we fold, and at the very end, afikoman. Total of 7 times. If you want to do the whole Haggadah, leaning on the left side, it's even better. Any other part of the Haggadah, you may lean on your left side, recline, except for the maror, when we hear the bitter vegetable. Okay, because we want to represent sorrow and agonies and troubles and problems. It's not the time to show that we are comfortable. It's not the time to recline. Okay? So please make sure that everyone in front, all the participants, have a cup that contains at least 3 ounces of wine/grape juice. Preferable red. But what you can, but best is red. If you don't have in your stock, it's fine. Some people have the grape juice that it's not red, it's orangish, right? It's almost white. So if you don't have anything else, you may use it. Best is red. Are we clear on that? It's very easy, very good. Remember, when we do Kadesh, the head of the household will do the Kiddush for everybody. Everybody will respond in Amen. You may not talk at all till you finish to drink the entire cup, and you need to drink the entire cup in one shot. You don't take a little sip, like it's whiskey or it's a hot tea. I'm sorry?
Rabbi, you did.
So let's have two people who wants to ask. Let's let Esther ask first question. Esther, what's your question? Esther, what's the question?
Rabbi, you're muted.
I'm muted. Oh, I'm sorry.
Also then.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Now you remember to tell me I was talking to the walls. There's 11 participants.
With you.
Okay, what's the first part on that's even worse. Watch on Facebook. Anyway, so we discussed about the first cup. Everybody must take red wine, 3 ounces, and don't talk till you finish the cup in one shot. Take your time, reclining on the left side, and drinking properly. Okay? Not just nodding with the head, not putting your hand here. It's not considered reclining. Do it in a way that it's comfortable. People that are not comfortable, they will spill the half of the cup on themselves. Make sure you have a right position, you have a cushion that you can use. Just do it the right way. So when the head of the house will finish the kiddush, everyone else, boys, girls, men, and women, should finish their cup. It's a customary in some community, and according to the Kabbalah, to either replace the cup or wash it. Some use disposable one. It's easy. You toss it and you use a new one. Some use fancy disposable. You may wash it. Doesn't matter. You can even wash the cheap one. Doesn't matter. Doesn't even have to wash. Just make sure that you finish all of it. Okay? So don't use a big cup and just fill quarter of it or 1/3 of it. Make sure you have a cup that's just large enough, because the halacha says al kos mele'ah, on a full cup. So you can't take a beer cup and just put 4 ounces thinking you're fulfilling the mitzvah. It's going to be a problem. It's not considered a full cup. It's a huge cup. It's a big cup. It's too big. Okay? Another trick that people want to do, and this is wrong, they have a big cup that has in it, 15 ounces, and they say, I'm going to drink 3 ounces, 4 ounces, and leave the 3 parts for later. Okay, and another, they're making 15 ounces just to be on the safe side. Wrong. You have to clear the cup all the time. 4 times. Do it right, do it properly, act like you are king, you're rich. You have cups, you have wine, there's no problem. You're not stingy. So we act like as if we have, and God provides. Okay? It's kind of like, I'll give you a fable, an example. It's when I don't remember the story, the exact name of the Rabbi, but many years ago, many people live in poverty. So a great rabbi has in his house apple. I haven't had an apple. Finally, they had an apple. And the child saw the apple, and he noticed that this is something that they're supposed to, maybe they're planning on it for Shabbat or something to cut and give him one. He said, but you like to have the apple now. So what did he do? He looked at the apple, looked at his father, who was just next to it, and said, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu haolam borei pri ha'etz. He made the beracha. His father now is forced what? To give him the apple, or at least a bite of it. So he asked for it. It's something that is right there. Give it to him. So it's like in this life. Ask from Hashem as if it's there, and you're asking, you're saying a beracha. It's like asking. Hashem will provide. Hashem will give. Okay, this is the way we should look at things. So this is about the kiddush. Everyone in the household must listen carefully to kiddush as it's being recited. The person reciting it must have in mind that he is reciting it on behalf of all those who are listening to him. And the people listening must have in mind fulfill our obligation of kiddush through listening to it. People are making so many effort. When they come to Kiddush, they're talking, they're schmoozing. They didn't listen, they didn't hear. Can you say it again? No, you can't say it again. Listen at the very beginning. Prepare yourself. Okay? In case you missed, and it happens, especially in large crowd, a lot of people. Sometimes you go to houses, few people. Sometimes you go to houses, 50 people. And children, and kids, and the baby, and the cribs, and people crying. A lot of noise. Say the beracha for yourself. If you miss the beracha of the leader of the Seder. Okay, I think we discussed that. If the guy is not saying the beracha clearly, it's another reason for you to say the Borei Peri Gefen as well. Don't say Baruch Hu, Baruch Shimon. The beracha will be considered as a break in between. Okay, now let's go to Kadesh. That's Kadesh, Kiddush. Now Urchatz, the next part. Immediately after Kiddush, we eat a piece of karpas dipped in salt water. Before eating it, however, everyone must wash hands in the same manner as one washes in order to eat bread. Whenever we eat wet foods, we must first wash hands, and this is no exception. Remember, we mentioned that last week. Even so, we do not recite any blessing for the mitzvah of washing hands in this case, despite the fact that no blessing is recited. It is recommended to refrain from talking after washing until we recite the blessing over the karpas and eat it. This is why you see people, when they touch food or fruit, they dry it. They take grapes, they dry it. They take apple, they dry it. It's a matter of purity and impurity. I don't want to discuss that right now. We mentioned last week the 7 different kind of liquid that if it touch food, you need to wash. You just wash, no bracha needed. Okay? So if you want to dip, I don't know, biscuit in tea, it's not considered, it's fine. It's part of a meal. It's not something, for example, you need to wash hands for. Okay. It's recommended to do the netilat yadayim in the house. Some people have a place outside the house by the barbecue, when everybody go there and wash and come in the house. Not recommended. One should attempt to wash hands in the same house where one is eating. One should not go out to the yard until the meal is over. Okay? Seudah means it's a permanent place. In a permanent place, you're supposed to stay there, not walking around, going out. Beside that, it's not so much recommended to live in the middle of the meal, go smoke and come back. I don't think it's so great to the spirit of the holiday. Okay? Questions? I'm just doing just a little from everything. What? Yes.
I have a question regarding the bracha. Does it have to be audible, or can we say under the breath of the bracha if it was not if we didn't hear being recited? Kiddush.
Any bracha you didn't hear, you should do it for yourself, by yourself.
Does it have to be like under the breath or like audible?
So
What do you mean under the bread?
He's asking, so he missed the kiddush for the head of the household. When he does his bracha, should he say for everyone to hear?
No,
or
for yourself.
Mumble his breath.
Yeah.
Mumble, basically.
So like quietly.
Quietly. Okay. If by mistake you wash the hands, this is something different. We don't do it any other time, but on Passover. You're supposed to wash, first wash, no blessing. Not like you do every Shabbat. Baruch netilat yadayim, and then we're waiting for the bread. Here you're washing because you're about to eat some type of a vegetable. It's called karpas. And there's washing with no blessing. But someone mistakenly, and it happens, because people used to it. Netilat yadayim. You already said netilat yadayim. What's the case going to be? Then, if someone mistakenly recited the blessing of al netilat yadayim when he washed hands in order to eat the karpas, it's the vegetable, he should make sure that he does not guard his hands from contamination afterwards. Meaning it's a trick, so you have to rewash. So some people, what they do, I'm not supposed to, so they scratch the head, ears, nose, I don't know, but that touch dirt. So now the hand's dirty and they must wash again. In that way, he will be able to recite the blessing again when he washes the second time before eating the matzah. Okay. Next, karpas. What is the karpas? What are you using for karpas? Karpas is the celery. Celery can be. You know what celery is? Okay. Each person then take a piece of celery. We did kadesh, urchatz, karpas. Now it's karpas, the third part. Each person will take a piece of celery smaller than kazait. Kazait, imagine always the size of half of an egg. Celery for many reasons. I'm sorry, I skipped him here. A piece of celery, less than kazait, and dip it into salt water or vinegar. Why are we using salt water on the table? Or lemon juice? The tears. The celery must be carefully inspected to ensure that it is free of infestation. Vegetable tends to have a lot of bugs in them, especially celery, parsley, cilantro.
Celery root or the leaves?
Either, it doesn't matter. People usually take the branch itself, the stalk. It's easy to observe, easy to clean, and it's easy to use and to measure the amount of kazait. So like taking half of a kazait. If no celery, mine keeps skipping here. Okay. The celery must be carefully inspected. As I said that, before eating it, you have to inspect it. The blessing of Borei Pri Adama must be recited. When reciting this blessing, one should have in mind for it to cover the maror. Maror we'll eat later, which is the letters. That will be eaten later in the evening. People keep asking, maror mean bitter, and everybody's eating for maror lettuce, chasa, right? But it's not bitter. So what's up, you guys calling it bitter herb? So the idea behind it is that this maror, this chasa, when they harvesting it, when they're cutting it in the field, when it's still fresh, it's good, it's not bitter. But if you leave it there, eventually it will become bitter. So if you don't cut it on time, you have to toss it. So it's an herb that in the process, at some point, it becomes bitter, not necessarily on your table. That's it. So the preferred vegetable for the use for this mitzvah is celery for many reasons. If no celery is available, or if the celery in the house has not been inspected for any infestation, one may take other vegetable and dip it into vinegar or salt water. Can be carrots, can be, tomatoes or cucumber. It's fine. If the only vegetable available is one of the species of maror, we'll discuss it B'ezras Hashem later. It says in Shimon, which we'll meet later. Since celery commonly has infestation in it, you have to check it thoroughly before the Chag. When I say checking a vegetable, it's not during the Seudah on the table. This is too late. It's ever too late, but you're supposed to do it before. This is why we're saying preparation for Passover, it takes a long time. We check in the rice. Sephardim that eat rice, checking it 3 times. Any legume you eat, which is kosher for Pesach, you have to be examined 3 times. Vegetable need to be checked. How you check them? You just cut them to pieces, size as you wish. You put them in a bowl with water, and what do you use? Dish soap is the best. No salt. It doesn't do anything to the bugs there, or the and no vinegar. Dish soap will be good. It kills them, and then you will see that they will float. Then you wash it. If you see there's a lot, do it again. It can be there no longer than 10-15 minutes. Don't use hot water, no warm water. Between warm and cold is good enough.
Room temperature.
Room temperature is perfect. All right? You do that for all those vegetables that we suspect they have infestation. As I mentioned before, it could be all the celery, cilantro, parsley, cabbage, I don't know, you name it. Okay, moving on. Please note that the karpas may be eaten only after dusk. If someone ate it before dusk, he should eat another piece after dusk. So anyway, we're starting 8:43. So nothing to worry. Okay? Please make sure you're following the schedule. Someone asked a question. Rabbi, every year the head of the household is making the berachot out loud, but I want to. Why do you want to? Because I want to make a mitzvah of beracha. So you want to tell me that I have now 10 people, each and every one of them wants to say Borei Pri Adama. It's okay or not? What do you think? Everyone wants to say Borei Pri Adama. It's okay or not? I don't care about long or short night. You're right. Of course it's okay. Okay? So it's even bringing more kedusha to the table. Everybody can respond with Amen. It's more berachot. It's okay to do that. Okay. It is permissible for each person at the Seder to recite the blessing of Borei Pri Adama for himself in order to eat the karpas. It is better, however, that the head of the household recite the blessing on behalf of everyone assembled in the Seder. The reason is it might take a long time and people lose patience, and when you get to the main course, which is the Agada, people tend to do it really quickly because they're already very tired, especially when they have guests and babies. People just want to finish, get over with the Seder. And this is wrong. It's time that you need to prepare yourself. Prepare yourself meaning take a nap, siesta. Go to sleep during the day for 2 or 3 hours so you relax on the table. You see almost every year people, especially the women, that they are working so hard and have to wake them up. They're missing the whole fun. Take day off, have some sleep, relax. Don't worry, no one will fire you. And if they'll fire you, it means that this business is not for you, this place of work. Hashem will provide a better place. As long as you show belief in God, so you're with me, I'm with you. That's it. This is a very sensitive halacha, and please remember that. Likewise, if the head of the household is unfamiliar with halachic procedure and he does not understand that he is to recite the blessing on behalf of all the others, it happens all the time. You see people that are inviting and they don't really know. Everyone should recite the blessing for himself. These rules apply not only to the blessing of Borei Pri Adama, but to all the blessings recited in the Seder. You've been invited. The head of the household doesn't really know. What does that mean? He knows to say the beracha. He even wear a kippah from time to time in his life. It's good. But he doesn't know. What does that mean? Kavanah, intention, to cover for you. Am I eating for you? I'm eating myself. Forget it. Don't trust it. Say the beracha. Eating the karpas does not need to recline. If you want to do that, you may. The next part is yachatz. I don't want to read all these parts. It's going to take us a long time. It's just follow the order in the Haggadah. It will tell you which matzah you take, which you break, and which shape. If it doesn't go, you can make the shape of daled and vav because you have probably a hard matzah. And the hard regular matzah, cardboard, when you break it, it breaks and you get crumbs got into your eyes and the nose sometimes even. So you may wear a helmet and glasses before for protection. No, so soft matzah, you can play with the soft matzah. You can, like tortilla, imagine you want to cut it in the shape you like, it's fine. But if it doesn't really look like Daled, and you're not a sofer now, it's okay. It's just by the Kabbalah, take a small piece, and don't worry about the Daled and the Vav and so forth and so on. If some people has only 2 matzot, how many matzot we have on the table? 3, right? Some has the custom to have 2. A Goren Levina had 2. So you break the second matzah, different minhagim. I give an example. A seder plate. Remember we discussed the seder plate, where is the location? You can Google it. You see the seder plate pictures, no problem. But for example, the Yemenite has no seder plate. There's no such. There is a big table. They're putting a lot of vegetables and meats and the karpas and the charos and everybody has his own stuff next to him. There is no plate. So there's different minhagim, different customs. Just follow your minhag. I'm already doing in my house. I'm doing a plate because this is how we grew up in Ashkenazi yeshivot. We've been corrupted. So no, I have guest people. They don't know. They're going to start to wonder what is going on here. So if I only do with Yemenite, we do the regular custom. It's okay to do either way. By the way, it's no problem. Next, okay, if someone has a very thin matzah and once he breaks the middle one, the 2 sections will be less than kazait each. He should, nevertheless, kazait, I remind you, is around 26 grams. He should nevertheless break the middle matzah. Later, when it is time to eat it, he can add other matzah to it to equal the volume of kazait and do the same when it is time to eat the afikoman. We are not actually weighing. And one of those you see in the halacha, you have to weigh it. You don't have to weigh, you go by volume. It's called nefach. Meaning, let's say I need 30 cc. When I take a cup, I fill up water, 30 cc. It's a very small amount. Okay. When I take a hard matzah, the machine matzah, okay, for example, if I grind it and I fill up this part, so there's different opinion. What's the minimum amount? So some says, according to the Stipler, the father of Chaim Kanievsky, he says 11 grams, it's enough. 11 grams, it's nothing from the hard matzah. If you take, according to Rabbi Mazuz, it's 14 grams. According to Rabbi Abba Tzion Bar Abba Shaul is the most strict one, it's 18 grams. The most. So it's not really 26 or 30. You don't have to finish this matzah. Imagine people taking the whole big thingy and to have to eat it within 4 minutes. You should call an ambulance already, waiting it down. This is crazy. With the soft matzah, yes, it can be 26, 30 grams. It's around, imagine to yourself a tortilla, less than half of tortilla. It's a bit thick, and it's easy. You can even finish it in 1 minute. It's chewable. The reason is because there's more water in the soft matzah. Capish? Good. Now, after karpas yachatz, we have the magid. What is the magid? Magid means to say the Haggadah, to follow the Haggadah. After the break in the middle of matzah, just follow the order you have in your Haggadah. And everybody has to read his own part, or everybody is reading together. You stop at some point, you share about the 10 plagues. If you are leading in a seder, definitely you need to learn, to study about the 10 plagues. People will ask you questions. You want to share some stories. You make this night very special. Yemenite custom is to dress up. Someone is knocking on the door. He's acting like he's just came from Egypt. It's a whole play. The kids get excited. They go around them. They have to find out who is from the uncle that is missing, and he's actually the one. It's fun every year. Someone is sneaking. It's a big thing. So make it fun. Make it fun. The kids, let them do a play. Let them do something that they will desire. They wait for this special day. Okay. So, Haggadah is the main part of the holiday. Prepare yourself. And even if you're not leading the Seder, prepare yourself because you might be asked questions or people will ask you to share something. Okay? It's according to Kabbalah, you should wash the cups, as I mentioned. It's not necessarily halachically. Okay, if you didn't wash and everybody have his own cup, don't worry about it. It's fine. It's better to replace or to wash. Remember, you pour to your friend, and someone will pour for you. It's called derech cherut. It's the way to show that you are, like VIP, people taking care of you. It should be in a modest manner. Men should not pour to a woman, and vice versa. Okay, unless it's your family, your daughter, your wife. Okay. The Haggadah must be recited at night, after dusk, as our sages taught in the text of the Haggadah itself. The Torah teaches, for the sake of these, meaning for that the mitzvah of relating the saga of the Exodus from Egypt is only when the matzah and maror are on the table in front of you. Just as the mitzvah to eat matzah and maror is only at night, as our sages taught in the Tosefta, mitzvah of relating this saga can likewise be fulfilled only at night. If someone read the Haggadah, during twilight, he didn't fulfill the mitzvah. He need to redo. Sometimes it was a matter of 10 or 15 minutes. Remember, this year, 8:43. Okay, men and women equally obligated in every part of the Seder. If you or she does not understand Hebrew, do it in the language of your desire. Doesn't matter. Even in Tefillah, even in Birkat HaMazon, you must understand what you're saying. The only part in Tefillah that everybody must say in Hebrew, if you don't understand Hebrew and you need to learn it, is Shema Yisrael. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. You're saying it in Hebrew. Right? Of course you can say it in English too, even if you don't understand. All the rest, it's even better to say it in your own language if you understand the meaning of the words. Okay? It's highly recommended to learn Hebrew because Hebrew is a different story. The words that comes out of your mouth in Hebrew, in Lashon HaKodesh, in the whole language, will create different powers and different things. The combination of the words, it's a different animal. Let's put it that way. You get what I'm saying? So it's highly recommended to learn Hebrew, to know how to say the words properly. Any questions so far? Okay. If for someone is hard to read the Haggadah, for any reason, just ADD, HDD, DDC, BBC, CNN, Fox News, I don't know. He just can't. So it's okay to listen and to hear from someone else. If someone read the Haggadah without even mounting the words, he has not fulfilled the mitzvah of reciting the Haggadah. But if someone, for him it's hard to say it, he may hear it from someone else and he fulfilled the mitzvah. The main mitzvah of the day is to share the story with your children. People like to schmooze and they talk. When the kids are playing, the kids are wandering around, and you're missing the whole point. The whole point is to share with your kids. As it says, "Vehigadeta levincha." You should say it to your children. What are you doing? You're schmoozing with your friends now. Do it after. The main mitzvah of the day is to do it with the children. Okay. It says, "Vehigadeta levincha," to your son. Some says, if it says to your son, it means girls are exempt, or you're not supposed to say it to the girls. Some poskim rule that the mitzvah of relating the story of the Exodus is to tell to your own son, one's son. But there is no specific mitzvah to relate it to one's daughters. In practice, however, sons and daughters are equal. Therefore, if someone's daughters, well, yada yada, you got the point. Okay, everybody are equal, and you still have to do it. Make sure they ask question. If they don't ask question, you ask them question. Make it easy. Make it in a way that won't be embarrassed in front of other people around. Okay. It is not necessary to rush through the reciting of the Haggadah in order to begin the meal soon after Kiddush, and thereby fulfill the rule of having Kiddush at the location of the meal. Some people says, usually when I do Kiddush, I'm eating right after. You start with Haggadah. No, I'm afraid that this is going to take 2 hours, and the Kiddush is not attached to the Saudah. It says the Haggadah is part of the Kiddush now. It's all one thing, one unit. Okay, it's perfectly within the constraints of the halacha, even if one stretches out the reciting of the Haggadah over several hours. Okay, the next custom, according to the Kabbalah, you need to be very careful with. When the leader recites the words Dam, Va'ish, V'timrot Hashan, blood, fire, and columns of smoke, the custom is for him to spill out a bit of wine. Some do with the finger, some spill with the cup, small cup to another cup. What do you do with the cup that all these curses and words were spilled into? You drink from it?
Flush it down.
Toilet, outside, and wait. No one should talk. Neighbor that you don't like. Okay. Yeah. So accustomed to spill out a bit of wine for each of these 3 terms into a broken utensil. You know, a broken utensil can be a small cup or a plate that is cracked or something. You need to get rid of it anyways. Some, especially before Passover, don't have broken. They already bought new and something. So take a disposable one, take a foam cup or something, spill into it, toilet or outside, and till the one that comes from this mission to get rid of it, no one should talk. No singing, no talking, nothing. Again, when recounting the 10 punishments brought upon the Egyptians, and when reciting the acronym Datzach, Adash, Be'achav, because we're saying Dam, Tzardea, Kinim, Arov, Dever, it's all you can say it in your own language, blood, frogs, and so forth and so on. Formed by the names of the 10 punishments, the custom is to pour a bit of wine from his cup for each term. This makes it a total 16 pourings. And the custom is to empty the cup entirely through this. The cup should then be rinsed out and refilled. The one we did the Kiddush, this process, I'm sorry. So you end with Datzach, Adash, Be'achav. Wash this, get rid of the one we put all the bad energy, all the bad stuff, all the curses, all the 10 plagues. Get rid of it. Questions? Wow, I have no time. So let me just conclude with, this is our class actually before the holiday. The custom of the Sfaradim is not to say bracha over each cup. Yemenites and Ashkenazis saying for each cup, Bore Priya Gefen, Bore Priya Gefen, Bore Priya. The Sephardim, they're doing only for the first cup is the Kiddush, and the third. First and third, second and fourth, no bracha. According to the Sephardim and according to the Shulchan Aruch. Now, after the second cup, you do wash the hands. It's called rachza. Second netila, you wash the hands, and you say the beracha netilat yadayim like you do every Shabbat. Remember, this is the second netila. After that, immediately is motzi matzah. Take the matzah, follow the order it says in the Agada, and you say the beracha over the matzah. You say berkat motzi, and you say beracha al achilat matzah, that we're eating matzah. It's a special time, and it's a little bit different than any other time. Any questions? Make sure to chew it, don't talk till you swallow the whole kazait. You're not supposed to drink while you do that. It's another advantage for the soft matzah. You're not supposed to talk, you're supposed to finish it according to all opinion within 4 minutes. If you can't, it can be 5, it can be 6, it can be 7 minutes. You think it's a long time. For a big matzah, dry matzah, sometimes it's not so easy. Everybody must eat the amount of matzah required 3 times. And to drink the cups, no one is exempt. Some should know just swallowing the matzah, especially with the soft matzah, they don't even chewing it. It is necessary to chew the matzah well before swallowing it, because you have to have the taste of matzah on your tongue. Not supposed just to swallow it. If someone swallowed the matzah without chewing it at all, he has nevertheless fulfilled the mitzvah. Okay? It's not, of course, what's required. Some take the matzah, I don't know why, and they wrap it with inedible material. It could be a lettuce, it could be tofu, shmofu, I don't know. They eat the amount of matzah, but they're wrapping it. This is wrong. You didn't fulfill the mitzvah, you need to redo. Because now you have taste of a tofu in your mouth, or whatever you cover it with. You eat matzah, you eat only the matzah. Okay, choose yourself a piece that is not burned, something that's edible, something that you will enjoy to do. So you eat the matzah without mixing it with anything else. If someone is in special needs and he asks the doctor, and the doctor says you should not eat matzah, it's not good for you, you're exempt. He should not force himself, and more than that, he should not say the beracha. He should not say the beracha al matzah because he is exempt from it. Let me just conclude with one more thing, and we're done for today. The korech, after eating the maror, the leader of the seder must take kazait from the third bar matzah and combine it with the kazait of maror, dip the maror into haroset, and declare of the passage, quote, this is a reminder of the Beit HaMikdash, etc., so forth and so on. The korech sandwich is then eaten while reclining. Okay? Some have the custom during the meal to eat an egg, boiled egg, or a piece of meat. Or, according to your custom, it's all fine. The Yemenite has a custom to eat. They're bringing actually on the table, beside the charoset, this decorated table with vegetable, they bring in 2 types of meat. One is cooked and one is roasted. Okay? And the custom is to eat it. Okay, I think there's much more to discuss. I think that will be enough for today. If you have any question, please don't hesitate to ask. Prepare yourself for the Chag. Bevakasha, take a nap, relax, take it easy. Davening in the very next day is anyways in Orator at least at 9 o'clock. There's nowhere to go and to run, and prepare yourself for that. After that, there's a second Seder. I want to wish you Before I wish you, actually, I forgot. Someone asked me today about something that's called Kimcha de Pischa. What's Kimcha de Pischa? Flour for Pesach. It's a term, means that we help the needies for food for Pesach. So anybody that wants to support, to fulfill the mitzvah, everybody must give something. If you know someone that it needs, please do so. If you don't, give it to Ohev Israel, will take care of it for you. On the comment, when you do the donation, either Zelle or whatever, write for Kimcha de Pischa. So you know that's you, and you give it for that purpose. So when you sit and fill up your stomach with food, other people are not starving. Kimcha de Pischa. Kimcha de Pischa. Everyone must give Kimcha de Pischa. In many communities, they were forcing everybody to be a minimum amount. You like it or don't like it, everybody have to participate minimum amount. And then if you want to give more, you can give more. You can give it from the Maasrot. It's no problem.
What is the
It's called Kimcha de Pischa. Write a comment or text me or text Shira. She will send you the information. What's the question?
Is the minimum amount the one meal, or what's the minimum?
That could be a good, how much was it? $10, $18, $20, whatever. How much was it, remember?
It was like $10.
$10 minimum. So you want to support anybody, give. The more, the better. The more, the merrier, the beracha will be great. I want to wish you on behalf of Ohev Israel Foundation the great Passover. Passover, Chag HaGeulah, it's a time of redemption. It's a time of much blessing. Use the time wisely. Don't argue, don't fight, do only good things. Bring only great and good vibes and good energy to the table. Brachot, mitzvot, Kimcha de Pischa, be nice to each other, support each other, help each other. And Be'ezrat Hashem, with this prayer, we'll be able to bring Mashiach closer and closer. God bless you all. We love you all. I want to wish you happy Passover. Pesach Sameach, Chag Sameach. Chag Sameach, Chag Sameach.
Oh my goodness, Rabbi.
Going down to the